Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French. We are continuing to follow the latest on that deadly AMC Theater parking lot shooting on Evansville's west side. So today we are speaking with the Vanderburgh County Sheriff because last night they arrested 19-year-old Carday Langley. That is one of 3 suspects involved in this shooting. Now, in an interview with deputies, Langley said he, 19-year-old Deshaundre Brown, and 18-year-old Pierce Butler had arranged to buy marijuana vape carts from the victim yesterday evening. Of course, we brought you this scene right here as breaking news last night. Langley told deputies that when they arrived to the AMC Theater parking lot, Brown said he intended to rob the victim and was armed with a gun. Well, officials say the 3 suspects got in the victim's car, and Langley said when he got out to move boxes of vape carts to his car, Brown and the victim started arguing. Langley told officials that he heard 2 gunshots from inside the victim's car, and then Brown and Butler jumped out of that car and left with Langley in his car. Langley told officials that's when Brown said the shooting was his fault and he had made a mistake. Now, officers had to use flock cameras to find Langley in his car on the east side of Evansville. That was near the Freddy's. Now, we actually got video from a viewer of that scene there near Freddy's where Langley was taken into custody. Deputies say the victim was found dead in his car in the wooded area off of the AMC parking lot. Now, again, this is a developing story, something we have been following since late last night. So today, our Emma Beck, actually right now, is speaking with the Vanderburgh County Sheriff to get the latest information on that case. So we'll bring that to you tonight on 14 News. Another story that we are following today is out of Cannleton. Residents there are pretty upset because they say that there are some buildings that are just really falling apart across the community. They say some of the conditions are just terrible of buildings in the area. Residents tell us all of those buildings are owned by the same woman who is accused of buying up properties in other towns and then just leaving them in poor condition as well. So this is something our Bryce West is following. He spoke to several people in the community of Perry County, and of course, he's working on this story. There is a preview of that over on our website, 14news.com. And then, of course, he'll have his full report, and you can hear from those residents who are quite upset tonight on 14 News. Another fun story that is a sure sign that it is spring we are following today. May's Farm Market officially opens for the season today in Evansville. Now, the market is located off of St. Joe Avenue. It's kicking off spring with plenty for shoppers to look forward to. So this does include fresh fruits and vegetables and, of course, those hanging plants, beautiful flowers. Customers will notice a new layout design this year to make shopping easier. The market's old greenhouse has also been transformed into a space where customers can now shop and pick out your own hanging baskets. The market is also filled with locally made soaps and lotions. Now, they're open every weekday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. On Saturday, the hours are a little different. They're 9 to 4, and then Sunday, they're open 10 to 4. So, again, a sure sign that spring is here. If you've been outside today, I mean, what a wonderful day to plant some flowers. Kind of breezy out there, but it is quite warm. It's feeling a lot like summer. With that, I am going to turn you over to 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory because we do have some storms in the forecast, unfortunately, so she'll walk you through everything you need to know right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and this is a live look at the Evansville riverfront right now. We had more sunshine this morning. The clouds have kind of picked up this afternoon, but one thing that hasn't changed is it has stayed breezy, and because that wind is coming from the south, it has also stayed very warm. That's really been the case this whole week so far, is this warm, breezy weather. There are some changes on the way, though. We've got rain and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow, mainly during the morning, although some of you may see a second round in the evening. Friday is going to be another very warm day. Then over the weekend, that's where we really see some changes. More rain on the way Saturday, and that will be followed by a big cool down to start next week. So let's start with what's going on out there right now. This is a current look at satellite and radar. Kind of a mix of sun and clouds over the tri-state, but overall pretty dry. There is rain just to our northwest, and that does clip part of Wayne County there, but this rain is moving to the northeast, so it's going to just kind of stay right along our edge here and pass on off to the north of the tri-state. You may catch a stray shower, especially if you're farther to the northwest. Places like Gibson, Wabash, Edwards, and Wayne counties may catch a stray shower, but most of us are going to stay dry through the rest of the day today, as that rain will continue to push off to the northeast. Now later tonight, some more rain will move in from the west, and I think we'll actually get a bigger piece of that. We're talking about scattered showers and maybe a few thunderstorms, mainly after midnight tonight, then continuing into Thursday morning. Thursday is not going to be a washout, but scattered rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms possible in the morning. Then it looks like that rain will push to the east and be out of here by about 9 or 10 a.m. And I actually think we'll see some clearing and get a little bit of sunshine in here Thursday afternoon. Now Thursday evening into the first part of Thursday night, it is possible we could see a few more isolated showers and storms popping up, mainly across western Kentucky. This would be primarily after 7 p.m. on Thursday into the first part of Thursday night. Then Friday, kind of a mix of sun and clouds, again mostly dry, but an isolated shower may pop up. Our next best chance of rain will then come on Saturday. As a cold front pushes into the tri-state, it'll bring us scattered rain and maybe a few thunderstorms through the middle of the day on Saturday there. Let's talk about our chances of seeing any severe weather. Because everything is just kind of off to our west, moving to the northeast like this, the chances of severe weather are just kind of skirting just to the northwest of the tri-state today. Tomorrow, with that rain moving in the morning, and then that more isolated chance of a few pop-up storms in the evening. The tri-state is included in a level 1 risk that we could maybe see an isolated strong to severe storm. That's really just for a damaging wind threat. It is going to be breezy, so if you get a thunderstorm, the winds could pick up even more, but that's a very isolated chance. We've held off on any kind of first alert weather day because we're just not seeing any kind of major severe weather threat from this. Friday, then that next cold front starts to develop off to the west, may bring some severe weather from Iowa stretching down through Missouri into parts of Kansas and Oklahoma there. As that whole cold front pushes into the tri-state, then on Saturday, though, it is expected to weaken. So odds are that Friday will be the greater severe weather threat. The whole system's going to weaken on Saturday, which is when it's going to get to us. If there is any severe weather on Saturday, it'll most likely be to our northeast. The tri-state is just right on the very tip of that area, included in that 15% chance of some severe weather. So again, we're holding off on any kind of alert day just because we could maybe get an isolated stronger storm, but overall, our severe weather threat still seems very low on Saturday as well. That cold front on Saturday, though, will usher in a change in our wind direction, and with that, a big change in our temperatures. So let's talk temperatures for a minute, because it does not feel like April out there. These are temperatures more typical of late May or early June, with us sitting in the low to mid 80s right now. It's 82 in Evansville and Newburgh, 83 in Mount Vernon, Henderson, and Owensboro. Our winds are still coming from the south-southwest, pulling that warmer air from the deep south up into the tri-state. That's been the case all week long. We've had this southerly wind just pumping warm air into our region. I do still think that we could climb another degree or two this afternoon, so I do think we'll see more of us breaking into the mid 80s before the day is out. Not convinced we're going to make it all the way to the record, which is 86. We did tie the record yesterday afternoon. We're going to be a lot closer to the record than we are to the average, though. That is for sure. Overnight tonight, breezy, mild. Again, a chance of rain after midnight. Temperatures dropping back only into the mid to upper 60s. That's pretty close to our normal highs for this time of year, and instead that's going to be tonight's lows. Again, this is just continuing this trend of mild, breezy weather that we've really had all week long. Tomorrow, we do have that chance of rain and thunderstorms in the morning, so that will keep us a little cooler for the first part of the day. I do still think we'll get some sunshine Thursday afternoon, though, and our winds will still be coming from the southwest, pulling that warmer air into the tri-state. So even though the rain will cool us off a bit in the morning, that southerly wind and that sunshine in the afternoon will still probably push us up to around 80 on Thursday. Friday, mainly dry, partly sunny, another warm one with highs in the mid to upper 80s. The record on Friday, by the way, is 88. So again, not totally convinced we're going to break that record, but we are going to be within a couple of degrees of the record, a lot closer to the record than we are to the average. Cold front moves through Saturday. Again, rain, a few thunderstorms, but our risk of severe weather seems very low. Then cooler weather starts to take back over to start next week. Taking a quick check-in on the comments here. Good afternoon, John, Jimmy, Cheyenne, Rita, Zach, James, Jeff, checking in for any questions here. Some folks are asking about specific places like Carmi. It's possible that you could get a stray shower this afternoon, but again, overall, we're all kind of in the same boat when we're talking about Thursday and Friday, which is that overall, the severe weather threat is very low. We're all sitting in that level 1 risk for maybe a brief gust of wind on Thursday if one of those thunderstorms really gets going, but overall, our severe weather threat on Thursday seems pretty low right now, and similarly on Saturday, it looks like any severe weather will probably stay to our northeast. So no matter where you're at in the tri-state, we all have a chance of rain and maybe some thunderstorms both tomorrow and again on Saturday, but both times for the entire tri-state, our risk of severe weather seems low. And Jeff commenting that he needs some rain. Yes, you are not alone in that. One thing I do want to mention, if you need to mow your grass, get out and do any kind of yard work. Today and Friday both look like great days to get out and do that. It is warm and breezy, but other than that, pretty nice. Thursday is a little iffy. We do have that chance of rain, but it's mainly in the morning. Saturday not looking great, which I know a lot of people are not excited about. We've got the autism walk Saturday morning. There's some proms happening Saturday night. A lot of people have outdoor plans, but nothing we can do about it. There is a pretty decent chance we're going to get some rain on Saturday. One upside to that is it may help with the pollen. A lot of people are struggling with allergies right now because the pollen count is so incredibly high due to this warm, dry, breezy weather we're having. It just blows the pollen through the air. So the pollen count will remain very high Wednesday and Friday. The rain Thursday and Saturday, though, will help wet some of that pollen down, wash it out of the air off of the tops of cars and things like that, and bring that pollen count down just a little bit. But I mean, it's April, it's warm, it's dry, it's breezy. The pollen count is just going to be what it's going to be this time of year. Looking at this month so far, we're about halfway through now, and it really has been a very warm April. We had that one little cool snap beginning of last week, but other than that, we've had highs in the 70s or even 80s. I mean, we are halfway through the month now, and if you add today to it, that would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 15 days where we have had temperatures in the 80s in a time of year where our highs would typically be in the 60s. It's not only been very warm, it's also been dry. We've only picked up about a ½ inch of rain so far this whole month, and most of that fell all the way back on the 4th. So it's been a week and a half since we've really had any significant rainfall. And so exactly what Jeff was mentioning, a lot of people, their garden does need some rain. So we're in that sense, looking forward to these rain chances Thursday and Saturday, because we are running quite the deficit on rainfall, both for the month and for the year. Meanwhile, our average temperature more than 10 degrees above what you would expect for the month of April. With all this dry, warm weather, it should be no shock that we are dealing with drought conditions across much of the tri-state, parts of western Kentucky, even in severe drought. The drought monitor updates once a week on Thursdays, so I'll be curious to see how this map changes when we get that update tomorrow and see how that drought may be spreading or worsening across the tri-state, as we have not had any recent widespread rain. As for our temperature trend moving forward, I talked about how incredibly warm it is out there today and all the way up through Friday. That cold front on Saturday does usher in a cool down. Highs back into the 60s, lows down into the 40s, feeling more like it should for the month of April, but that cool down doesn't last very long. Notice by Tuesday and Wednesday we start to warm right back up. The extended outlook then for the end of next week does continue to show a trend towards slightly above average temperatures, but we also have an outlook for above average precipitation, and specifically the tri-state and areas to our southwest are outlooked for potential heavy precipitation Thursday and Friday of next week. So it does seem like our temperatures will continue to warm as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, probably Thursday, maybe even Friday, depending on the exact timing. But then if we do have a cold front move through, that would bring us that chance of rain and probably another cool down as we head toward next weekend. But again, we're talking about something that's a week and a half away. So all the details on that are still very fuzzy. Checking in on the comments again. And Bradley's asking about the rain on Saturday. It does look like the rain will probably be right through the middle of the day on Saturday. It's going to roll in the morning and then roll out sometime later in the afternoon and evening. So right through the middle of the day Saturday is when we're going to be seeing that rain. So it's going to be moving from west to east. So if you're farther west in places like Illinois, the rain will start earlier, but it'll also end a little earlier. If you're farther to the east, you might be able to get in any early morning plans. But really it looks like pretty early in the day that rain's going to move in. Let me actually back up to where I had. So here's the timing for the rain chances. I'll just walk through these really quickly for you. This starts with today, maybe a stray shower to the northwest, but mainly dry. We've got the rain moving in tonight into Thursday morning. Scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm. We dry things out and get a little sunshine in here Thursday afternoon. And then we've got that isolated chance of some more spotty showers and storms, mainly in western Kentucky, Thursday evening into Thursday night. So that's kind of our first chance of rain is Thursday. One round of showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder Thursday morning, then another more isolated chance, mainly in western Kentucky, Thursday evening. Friday, we may catch a stray shower, but it looks mainly dry. Then we get into Saturday. This is what you were wanting to know about here, Bradley. Let me take this a little slower, really hour by hour for you here. Notice in Illinois that rain could be moving in as early as 6 a.m. on Saturday, and then it kind of works its way from west to east pretty quickly as we go through the morning. This can't get us all the way through Saturday just yet, just because of how far out the data goes. When Jeff gets another update later tonight, he should be able to see more of Saturday for you there. But notice by 9 a.m. that rain's probably moving into places like Evansville and Henderson and quickly starting to approach Owensboro. That rain will then push through the middle of the day and then probably start to move off to the east as we go through Saturday afternoon. So maybe by Saturday evening, like I said, I know we've got a lot of proms and stuff going on this weekend. Maybe by Saturday evening the rain will be out of here, especially if you're farther to the west. But I know there are plans throughout the whole day on Saturday. There's autism walk and other things going on Saturday morning. We've got proms Saturday night, and it looks like you could get rain on both kind of at the beginning of one and the tail end of the other as that rain moves through. So I would just say any outdoor plans on Saturday, have a rain plan as well. Bring an umbrella, bring a rain jacket, be prepared to get wet, or have a plan to move things indoors, because it does seem like really a good chunk of the day on Saturday has at least a chance of rain. It's not going to be a total washout. It's not going to rain all day, but there is at least a chance of rain from Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon. So a good chunk of the day there, you have that potential for some rain. But again, it looks like any chance of severe weather is probably going to stay to our northeast. So for the most part, while we may get a few rumbles of thunder, which you would still need to move inside, even if it's a non-severe thunderstorm, if there's lightning, you need to move inside. But a lot of what we see on Saturday may end up just being harmless rain, but it could still be impactful to those outdoor plans, obviously. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons is working on your forecast right now. He'll have an update on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and he'll do another streaming show here tonight at 9. And again, he'll have new data by then that will be able to go a little farther out into Saturday. So if you're looking for more information on Saturday's forecast, every hour we get a little closer to it, we get a little more data. So he should be able to have a clearer picture of what to expect on Saturday for you tonight at 9. So tune back in again then, and he should be able to answer your question a little more clearly. All right. In the meantime, everybody enjoy this warm but breezy weather out there, and just be prepared. We do have those rain chances Thursday and then again on Saturday, and that will be followed by a cool down. So if you're a fan of these highs in the 80s, soak them up now. We've still got that in the forecast through Friday of this week, but we do see a big cool down over the weekend. All right, everybody have a great rest of your day.